Hey, this is Ian from EssentialTennis.com, where it's my mission to bring passionate instruction to passionate tennis players all over the world, just like you. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about a myth that you should not be pronating on your slice serve. In fact, I'm going to just go through all three main types of serves, flat, slice, and kick, and show you that in fact, you should pronate on all of those serves. Now, before we get to the pro player examples here, I just want to very quickly make sure that we're on the same page as far as defining what pronation is. When it comes to a tennis serve, pronation, which by the way doesn't just refer to the forearm, you can pronate your feet and all other parts of your body, but on the serve specifically, pronation refers to the rotation of the forearm and the hand, basically from the elbow down to the outside. Now, this is a neutral position with your hands. If you just put your hands in front of yourself with your hands facing forward, that is a neutral position. If you take that position and just put it up and pretend that you're making contact with the serve, a neutral position as a righty would have your racket strings facing straight to the left. Now, we don't want to do that because when we make contact, the ball will go straight to the left. Where the strings are facing is by far the biggest determinant of where the ball will go, where the strings are facing. A phrase that I like to use when I'm teaching is the ball doesn't lie. You know, if the ball goes way off to the right or way off to the left, that's where the racket was facing, assuming that you did in fact hit the strings. That's another issue altogether. But with this being a neutral position, if we want the ball to go into the box, regardless of what type of serve we're going to hit, the racket needs to turn. There needs to be rotation, and that is pronation of the forearm. So just by the very fact that the racket begins on edge for all serves, which we're going to look at to some varying degree, and the racket is facing the target at contact, tells us right there that pronation does occur. But what's more is that we're going to see in a second that the racket continues beyond that point for professional players. And with that, let's go ahead and go to our examples here. And this is professional player Tim Smyczek. He's an American player. The reason why I'm using him is because several months ago, I flew down to Florida specifically to gather this footage of him hitting different serves to different targets. The reason why I did that is because I wanted a library of high-level, professional player footage of different locations and types of serves. The serves we're about to look at are a flat serve, a kick serve, and a slice serve, all aimed to the tee. And I know which is which because I told him, okay, Tim, now hit a slice serve to the tee. Now hit a flat serve to the tee. And I have super slow motion footage of each so that we know what he's hitting and where he's trying to aim. Tim, by the way, has a career high of number 73 in the world. He's trying to break through to kind of that elite level of player, but he still had some great results, as high as the third round of the US Open. So let's take a look at Tim's flat serve here. I'm just going to go ahead and skip forward to his racket drop, and we'll see on his racket drop, just after his racket drop, as his racket starts coming up towards the ball, that his racket is on edge. This is a flat serve that Tim is going to aim down the tee. So if he were to open his hand right now, his palm would be facing to the left. That's a neutral position with his hand. As he makes contact, his racket is facing his target, which is the tee. And then as I continue past contact, watch as he continues to turn his hand out to the right. So he's made a full 180-degree rotation with his hand, with his forearm. He's made a full 180-degree pronation with his forearm. So now let's go over to a slice serve, also on the ad side, also aiming down the tee. And we'll see here, just like on the flat serve, with a little bit of difference because he's going to be hitting spin on this serve. I'm not going to go into detail on the differences between these three serves in this video. It's just too much information for a single video. But you'll see that his racket is facing to the left. If he were to open his palm, it's facing to the left. At contact, his racket is facing towards his target. And then beyond contact, his hand continues to turn and faces out to the right. So he's made a full 180-degree rotation at least. And again, this is a slice serve. down the tee. Moving on, we'll go to kick. Again, his target is the tee. And we'll see slightly different angles here, a little different contact point. Again, I'm not going to go into detail on the differences between these serves, but you'll see his strings now not facing straight to the left, but kind of angled a little bit towards the side fence, kind of a little bit more towards the left of the net post here. At contact, we'll see his strings actually facing a little bit to the left of his target. Again, I'm not going to go into detail here. It's because he's swinging so much towards the right, but he's a little bit to the left of his target here with his strings. And then as I continue forwards, you'll see that he continues to rotate his hand, and his strings are now facing back towards the camera. Again, I'm not going to go into big detail on the technique differences here. It's kind of many videos could be used to explain exactly what he's doing here, but the one singular point that I want to make in this video is that he is in fact pronating on each of these three different types of serve: the slice serve, the kick serve, and the flat serve. He's doing it in different directions, which creates different results. You know, one of them, his goal is to just go right through the ball. That's the flat serve. One of them, his goal is to make side spin. That's the slice serve. So there's a little bit different angles going on. There's a little bit different swing path. And then, again, different for the kick serve. His goal is to make kind of a combination of side spin and top spin. So again, a little bit different swing path, a little bit different angles with the racket face. But on all three serves, he does in fact turn his hand from inside to outside. There is pronation on every serve. Now, some of you may be asking, well, why aren't you using Roger Federer or Nadal or Djokovic or Sharapova or some top big name professional player? This is the footage that I have of a player where I know what type of serve he's hitting. I know where he's aiming. I've gone through thousands of super slow motion clips of top name players hitting their serve. I've never once seen a player not release the forearm and pronate. I don't have one example of that. If you can show me an example of a player not pronating or even coming in the other way, like for a slice serve, which is a myth that I'm busting in a separate video, if you can give me one example of that, I'd love to see it in detailed slow motion video. Something at least close to this. Fact of the matter is, pronation occurs on every good high-level serve, and so it's something that I believe is very important and something that all tennis players should work on making part of their overhand motion, both for their serve and yes, for the overhead too. That's another topic for another video. So with that, I'm going to wrap up this video. If you've enjoyed my explanation here and the examples, do me a favor and click like if you're watching on YouTube. Also subscribe to my channel on YouTube so that you don't miss out on any future lessons or instruction that I publish. And if you have any comments or questions, do me a favor and leave those down below, either on YouTube or on essentialtennis.com. With that, I want to thank you very much for your time and for your attention today. I really appreciate the fact that you watched this video all the way through. Thank you for your support. Take care and good luck with your tennis.